Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to That Checks Out with Damon and Ted, part 2 of our wonderful conversation with our friend and comedy mentor, John Da Cosse, starting now.
Right now. Now, this isn't an interview platform, but I'm going to ask you a question.
Sure.
Does your wife find you funny?
Not as funny as when we first met.
Okay.
So I think that's typical with anybody.
Yeah.
But what I love about this is that I find my wife so much funnier than when we.
Oh, I do.
She has gotten better. And I honestly think it's confidence. I think my wife is very low key.
Okay.
You know, there aren't any extremes. And we met in college, but she has much more confidence now to take it. Whereas being a stand-up, people, and you're not a stand-up, but you know how to be funny. Ted, kind of. Yeah. So,
sidekick,
right? People will defer. When I come into, whether it's family or whatever, and they said, somebody finds out, they defer to you. Mm-hmm. They assume, and then you get too much credit because then you'll say something, you're serious, and go, yeah, I just had a stroke. Oh my God. I was like, I wasn't trying to be funny, So you get too much credit, but my wife has much more confidence now. So I do find her a lot funnier.
Okay.
How long have you been married?
I've been married 17 years.
17 years? What are you at?
Ted's 20.
You're 20.
I was like, we just talked about that.
I didn't talk about it.
I said we.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, see, that's why he's
Can we edit Ted out?
Yeah, how about some attitude?
My mic's not even on, man.
We give him a dead mic. Yeah. He's got
I figured it out. It's been a year, but I figured it out.
Play phone.
Poor Ted. Yeah. Poor Ted. No respect even here.
Yeah. That's what we tell him. Talk softer. He's picking up in my mic.
Yeah.
Softer. This is really turned up. You want to talk soft.
I think it sounds better if you talk from outside.
Go wait in the car.
Just
somebody else's.
Well, this is how funny this is why this is what Ted crashed. So was it a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? I stopped in. I was doing promos for Zanies.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I wasn't staying for the show, the Wednesday night show.
Yeah.
And I, thinking I'm funny, I walked past Ted and Brian. I go, hey guys, I think I'm going to get lucky with the manager, And Ted goes, you want me to give you a light? I was on the floor.
Yeah.
It was like he did
a great line. How many minutes you need?
I know. Right. I fell on my knees. I'm like, this is so good.
I tell you,
yeah,
that's the best part for when you can get someone.
I was just going to ask.
It was so amazing that
the conversations in the green room got to be funnier even than what goes on the stage.
I think so.
Right?
Can be, yeah.
Yeah, well, because also, too, you can use whatever language or any connotations you want to use.
It's not just language, but it's also, you can talk about people individually. You can name names. It's not something you've rehearsed or anything. It's all like, and these guys, especially the room that was last night, they've known each other for years. And so there's this stuff flying back and forth. They remember like a slip up they did or something funny they said 25 years ago. And they're calling it back.
True. It's true.
And it's just, and for the new guys to just sit there and just be like, oh, this is amazing. This is a free show. And I just love it.
And it's funny, you're a big fan of Larry.
Oh, big fan.
Larry Reeb, Uncle Larry. And what always amazes me, because I met Larry in 82, and then talk about a mentor, he decided that I should go on the road with him in 86.
Wow. That's a golden ticket right there.
Well, it was. And to his credit, we got along right away. But he also, our sets, because Larry is so strong, people would go, we're going to throw anything in front of him. So, at that time, there were about 20 funny bones and 8 slapsticks and many improvs. But I'm like a clean comic, the happy guy, whatever. It was a perfect setup. But the thing that cracks me up is everybody thinks Larry is Larry. They think he's that guy,
Yeah. He turns it on, right? That's a switch, right?
It is mostly him.
Yeah. It's him.
But he
elevated.
He is so much, he is the nicest guy. And all of our shows, if you go back, what we talk about, we never talk about stand-up. We talk about, remember that time I made beans and bacon? It's like that's the stuff we remember. We the places we ate or we did. I won't say it on air. It was a jam session, that we did in Arlington, Texas, as a joke, and we wrote original songs because Larry plays guitar.
Okay.
and they were the most disgusting, sick songs. And we thought it would, and we did it after the show, because the two managers were brothers, and they loved us and whatever. We skip ahead. The last time we were there, Larry goes, I don't think we can do this anymore because we were doing better than the show.
Oh,
like,
no.
With the gross stuff, with the ignorant stuff.
And I go, and I told this on our, we did our were you there for Larry's fundraiser?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I told that story that we wrote all these songs and our wives found our notebooks.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
The same week. And my wife kind of laughed and goes, "You're not really doing this." And I'm like,
no, but give me that back.
Yeah. I need that to read from. Larry called me up and goes, "Hey, Johnny, we're done." Because his wife, Kathy, at the time, just was like, "No." And think about that, because with YouTube and all that stuff, you don't want that.
Yeah.
Well, Zanies wanted us to do that jam session at Pheasant Run, and I said, I don't know. So I just reached out to this is like 4 years ago, and I go, "Hey, do you feel like?" And he goes, "I do, but I ain't doing it because it'll be on YouTube, and that's all people will see."
Right.
So it's true. It was,
Back to that conversation I had with your wife. She was so sweet and so, like, she didn't have to entertain me. She could have just been like, "Yeah, I'm going to be back here. You sit here and wait for John. I don't know you," and everything, but no, we had a wonderful conversation.
She wasn't mad or anything.
No, it was
me. She was
wonderful.
She was like, "No, this is okay.
Don't touch anything in this room."
You guys heard my stuff last night. You've heard all my stuff. None of it is like something that you don't want someone to find. It's fine.
Correct.
But I still, I have all my notes, and it's not even something that if someone saw that, they would think it's the rantings of a madman, because it's just like little clips and little things. It's not anything fully written out. But like, I see my wife like, "Oh, let me get that real quick," and it's nothing like embarrassing. It's just like, I don't want to have to explain like all of this stuff out to you, because it makes sense in my head, and there's nothing dirty or wrong about it. It's just like, that's my stuff.
But let me ask you a question, because I have my wife gets this now, but I used to pretend. I would say, "Oh my God, so and so did this bit last night," and I would do the bit, and it was my bit. But I'm not telling her it's my bit, because
so you're playing it. Now if she loves it, then you're like, "Hey,
I know
it was mine."
Yeah, exactly. And but now she knows that.
I'm so and so. I'm a guy.
Right,
I'm a guy. I did it.
Yeah, because I think they get too. Does your wife find you funny?
No.
Okay.
That wasn't even no.
Yeah, no, I didn't have to. I didn't hesitate.
And could you take more time to think about that?
Okay, hold on.
Wait, let's ask Brian. Does your wife think you're funny?
No.
Yeah.
Good. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. No. So realistically, I feel, and I've even turned to her, like when she's on the couch and I'm in my chair or whatever else, and I'll say something that is just off the wall hysterical to me. Okay. So it would be hysterical. We have the same sense of comedy. So whatever he finds funny, I find funny. It's weird that way. But I still like when I hear his stuff, because I never hear his stuff ahead of time. Like we were talking about outside.
Right.
I always go in, and it's not like anything he first off, he doesn't need to run it by anybody. He's funny,
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
But I don't want to hear it. I want to laugh original.
Right.
I want that original, laugh that's just genuine.
Organic, let it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I say something to my wife and I'm like, and I'm laughing, that's when like I said, that's why with stand-up comedy, it's kind of hard for me, because I find it funny the first time it comes out of my face. And then after that, it's like, I'm retelling something, and it's just to me. Yeah. So I say that, and I'll turn, and she's got nothing. I'm like, nothing? I'll say that, and I'll be like, I waste all my good stuff on you. That's what I tell her. I go, I am wasting all my good stuff on you. And then I'll get my phone out, and I'll make notes. So he's right. Now, I have the phone of a psychopath, because I put all my notes on my phone.
Oh, okay.
So I have stuff, whether it will be down the road for, improvised bits and ideas or this or that, and then we just feed off it. Here's an idea. But I put that all in there. But that being said, my wife does not, she finds me funny when I'm not trying to be funny.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she, what's weird is she'll listen to podcasts. Okay. As long as I don't talk about her too much. So this is right about the level we're at,
Okay.
But so, right, Duke, we're good. So anyway, she'll tell me, "Oh, when Ted said this, I'm like, do you find me funny at all?"
I know.
Yeah. I'm like, but I think the thing is she lives with me. So she hears this level of ignorance and stupidity on a daily basis.
Correct.
So she's kind of numb to that whole level.
Yeah.
Yeah. But last night, Uncle Larry, she laughed hysterically the whole way through. Okay.
Did
I
he
went,
yell at her? Because he's pretty good at that.
And I went. Yeah.
Good move.
Yeah, but I should have been like, really? You laugh at all his jokes.
Hello?
He's just screaming at you.
He just repeated it.
Yeah. If I get a coat and open it up and thrust a little bit, would you go for me? You know, that's a great joke. You know, but and he just kept going to somebody taught. You know, it was funny.
That's
and you can tell that's all the improvised. That's his brain working, and that's great. You see that, and it's just like, well, even the whole Woodstock thing last night, where somebody said, from Woodstock, what were they? 20 minutes away from there? 30 minutes away, right?
I think so. I think
15, maybe.
Yeah, maybe 15.
I was waiting for one of you guys to be like to say something.
No,
I was. Now when I know you're there, it's like, what?
Yeah, I was waiting to hear like
who did not hear the question?
First off, I know better because the first time that I guess I met you was when you were at the barn. But,
oh my God! And this story.
Well, this is the story.
I know.
You still refer to him this way.
This is my beginnings in comedy. Go ahead.
Yeah, chopped salad. That came out of my fat face.
There was someone you were open.
You asked where we're from.
No, you said, is anyone from out of town? And they said, I'm from out of town. He's like, hey, have you guys anywhere to eat? There's Portillo's right over here.
Yeah.
And they was, we went to Portillo's. Like, what'd you have? And you were waiting for someone to say the beef or the hot dog or whatever. And this guy's like, chopped salad.
I go, chopped salad.
You were already doing.
You made a beeline for me so fast, and I was laughing. And you were like, "Did you canoe here from Shanahan?" And you're doing the whole thing up the river. It was hysterical. So I thought last night, I'm like,
you were already doing the like this
the thing,
thinking you were going to be like beef or hot dog, and you went. Wait, chopped salad?
I totally threw off your game.
It is good.
Yeah. First time I've ever seen to be like, wait, what? And then you saw it came out of his mouth, and you're like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Sir, do you know what salad means?
You don't look like a salad guy. Did you order by accident?
No, but that.
Wow. Oh my God! Were you ticked? I apologize.
No, not at all.
It was great.
I loved it.
He threw you for like a second, then you're like, all right, this is where we're going.
That was the Quinn Daly show, right?
Yeah, it was Quinn Daly.
Quinn Daly. You featured before Quinn Daly was up there, and so we sat. We were
Quinn Daly.
The guy that you featured for.
He was the headliner.
He was the headliner.
Weekend.
Yeah, comedian. Yeah.
Boy, I don't.
Oh, you probably do it so much. You don't know.
Yeah. But I have no recollection.
That was
of
the
Quinn
thing.
Daly.
Like, this was a moment for us. For you, it's just another hosting.
That's my whole point.
At
this
Zany's.
is probably like for my wife.
See, he said feature again.
Yeah, it was a.
He still doesn't. He still doesn't.
No, the headliner was.
And John was the MC.
I was the host.
I thought you.
I was a house. Yeah.
You didn't do a whole set.
No. If I'm hosting,
if he's asking where people are from, and that kind of stuff, that's host.
Okay, so you were the host then. I guess. I'm sorry, but Quinn.
That's what I'm like. But I don't know who Quinn Daly is.
He was we found him very funny.
Okay,
and we talked to him afterwards, even in this and that, and but it was hysterical because he made some comment. I don't like speaking out because I've been on stage. I don't like most questions that are asked are rhetorical. They don't want to hear,
like the host is usually asking for some feedback.
Correct.
But after that, that's the thing is like, I hate it when the feature comes up and like, I clearly I'm not in the show because if it's the features come up and it's not me,
right?
I'm not in the show. But when they come up and then they like double down on it, I'm like, okay, now you're letting them have the idea, like now it's free reign to talk to the comedians and don't do that. Because then the headliner get up there not expecting to have any coward interaction.
Yeah.
Although when I headline, I do play with the audience.
I know some people do. Like you play it
talking
off.
about improv. I do a nice split because I enjoy that. I enjoy going out there and
especially when you're in a certain Wisconsin club.
Well, but that shows
you have to do an hour and 10 instead of 45.
Oh my God!
Hope you guys are ready for some fresh stuff.
I had to go run through the bowels of the hotel. Hey, we're on in like a minute. What? Yeah, it's not a good thing. Oh my God.
Yeah, we were. That was you and Preston that night.
Yeah.
So I'm headlining, and it was horrible. I mean, it was horrible.
Yeah.
I don't even know why he wanted to do it. The second show was sold out. The first show had 8 people, and they did not want to be there.
No.
So Ted goes up and does what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And Preston goes up, and I will never let him forget this. He bailed.
Yeah.
He called it a day. And he got out of it.
He lit himself?
Oh, yeah, basically. Yeah, he pulled out that harmonica.
Yeah, his closer's a harmonica. I did my 10 to 12.
Got off. No.
At about 10 minutes in, he pulls out the harmonica, and I'm like, oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no. Because John wasn't in the room.
And no intermission?
No. It's like, you know what, you got to make up the time. So I did 57 minutes.
Yeah.
In front of 8 people, and
that were
I had Todd Thomas sweat on me.
That were super
God,
angry.
That's become a thing. I didn't even know.
It's the latest fad and fashion.
It is.
It really is. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're going to sweat. Do it like Todd Thomas.
You could tell because I'm not a professional, but even I knew at the end, I was like, okay, so we're just going to bring the next guy up. Good luck. I mean, it was we would have had a better set talking to this table.
You knew you were throwing him to the wolves, but you had to do it. It is what it is.
Well, and Ted did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And technically that's what happens when you close. You take it. But I was like, are you kidding me? And I think I was disappointed in Mike, but I've told him many times. But I was also disappointed in the owner. Like, what? Why?
Yeah, don't put the show on then.
Why are you doing...
Just
bump them 8 people to the late show.
Tell them to come back later.
Or just like, hey, do you guys want to come to the other show?
Yeah. Because this is not going to work.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it's
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Look at those.
Yeah, but you had to like do something to get them into it. So you played with the crowd that like essentially that whole set was just...
Yeah, but that was a battle...
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying like if you didn't have
one on 8,
I'm saying 1 to 10, that was a 2, and the 2 was the high. When I was like, at some point,
if you didn't have that in your quiver, though, that would have been awful. Like if you didn't have the ability to be like, okay, well, we're gonna do something.
I thought it was pretty bad.
Well, I wasn't gonna say it.
It's okay. I thought it was like a Brian set. Oh my God!
I pray to God he doesn't listen.
Hear this?
Williams.
Oh, poor Brian Williams. We love Brian Williams.
I love him too. He's a great dude. He's a great dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the people need to understand that if you're busting someone's balls like that, it's because you love them.
It's because you care.
Like if I'm really polite to you and we just have a converse, like a normal general conversation, we're friends, but we're not. I'm like, you're not really close to me because I don't trust that you will understand that it is just joking.
So right. Hand to God. If I talk to you for any length of time, I like you. If I say hi to you and we don't converse, then I don't. And here's the deal: your world should not end because I don't like you, and my world's not going to end because you don't like me.
Right.
I really, I don't care who likes me.
That being said, do you like me? Or I was like,
Brian, could you?
No. Could this be the outside? Oh, this is my favorite.
No,
this is my favorite description of Damon.
You have a subpoena.
What did you do to my drum?
Why do you have it tuned
You have
up?
a subpoena.
Why do we have chipmunks saying subpoena? What happened here?
You ruined my dulcet tones.
Alvin and the Ted Monks. What are we doing? What do we got here? This is crazy.
Yeah, he put a Rickroll on this board. Didn't tell us. We didn't hit that button.
Really?
We got Rickrolled.
We didn't hit that
Rickrolled
button
ourselves.
for 6 weeks.
oh man,
6 weeks we just skipped that button. He was like, "I've been waiting for you guys to."
Oh, that's hysterical.
Like every week, he's like, "You should really press the second from the top."
Right. Hey, you guys want to do that segment that you sometimes do, right? You guys want to do that segment you do?
Oh man,
you know the button you normally push that you haven't pushed for like 6 weeks, and I'm dying over here. Could you please push that button?
My pranks are pretty slow burn.
Yeah.
That's way to plan. Way to plan.
Well, then what happens is he totally missed it. It happened. He's like, "Wait, what?"
No. Oh, that's not fair.
Yeah. I used to sit there before we did the camera stuff so we could just, and he would Google stuff and put it behind Damon's head. So Damon would be talking about stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, I know about that. And I would like,
he's reading off like Wikipedia.
I'm reading it off Google.
He seems like the most knowledgeable person I've ever met. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, that happened in 1937. It was between Oklahoma and Texas. They had this, and it was just like literally.
And I'm sitting here, so it's right behind me, and he's looking at me, but he's reading the screen.
Oh, that's good.
And I'm like, you two a-holes are really running me through the ringer over here,
And finally, it was like 3 episodes. He's like, wait a minute.
So he's Ted.
Yeah. So he's a slow burn. I'm a slow learn.
Ted.
I'm the one up here. Yeah. When you look at it in Google or something, it says it has the entire title that checks out with Damon, and then it just goes ... So they've renamed me Ted Ellipses.
Ted Ellipses. Oh, that's his stage name.
The entire title except my name.
When this turns into a stripping mall, that'll be Ted Ellipses taking the stage for a podcast.
We've had this thing with my last name. We've had this conversation about how my boss Brian spells it with a Y. So, and for the longest time, he's been my boss now for 6 months. In the meeting agenda, it's been Ted Wilson with 1 L, and we take notes based on how you land in your alphabetical order. So last week, I had to take notes for the first time since we moved. And he's like, hey, you're on notes this week. And I'm like, no, actually, I'm not. I've just been coming to these meetings out of respect for you and the job. Sounds like this guy named Ted Wilson is doing it because it's all in text, so you can read it. Ted 1 L Wilson is doing it. Sounds like a pretty good guy. Don't know him, but he's the one taking notes. And he's like, wow, stickler party of Ted. And so then,
wow.
And I was like, this has been in there since December. I have been waiting 6 months to tell this joke, and it landed. You're done. And then, so for the rest of the day, I kept sending him like Brian with an I, like all these emails, knowing that he can't come back.
Right.
I'd say it's with a Y because he already like busted me out.
Right.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this. I was like, please take it the way you did. So I just like the whole day. So Brian, I just have a real quick question. It would be nothing. A couple minutes later, hey, Brian, just to follow up on that question. And everything would be, hey, Brian, just real quick, Brian, I got a question, Brian. And he's like, I get it. Stop.
Well, you must have gone through that most of your life.
Oh man, my whole life.
Yeah, because when I think the first check I wrote you, or no, the first check that the RAL wrote you,
I think it was to Tim Wilson.
It was Tim Wilson or something. And there were, it was like and we didn't even get that right.
Just last week, Jim Flanagan was like, "Hey, is Ted short for anything?" And I was like, "No, that my parents decided that having 2 L's in a common name was not fun enough. They would also give me a nickname." So that every government institution I've been in since I've been an adult. No, sir, we need your full name. Yeah, no, I know what it is. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's Richard. I go by Ted.
Yeah. Like Peggy and Maggie. How did you get those?
Yeah. Well, you get Bill from William. I mean, that's the one that you're like, come on now.
Well, there's people that are named Edward and go by Ted. I'm like, no, that's mine.
Yeah, you don't get an
you
extra
have a
consonant
that's already in there.
Yeah, you don't need
to take mine.
Yeah, you don't get to add
in college. This guy moved in the second year. His name was Edward. And he went by Ted. And he's like, hey, we're going to call you other Ted. And he's like, no, you're not, Edward. My name is Ted. Yeah. My name is Ted. Yeah. You find out you can pick any other name you want.
You've got options.
This one's mine.
You are now Fred.
Yeah. We'll just call you Ward.
What's your middle name?
Martin.
Ted Martin?
Yeah.
Ted Martin Wilson.
Yep.
That's like serial killer.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think? I mean, you can see the picture in the paper.
Oh, there's heads in the crawl space, I'm sure.
Oh, my Lord, yes.
Yeah, I think if it was Wayne, it would be more.
We okay on time still, Mac?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you okay on time?
Are you okay on time?
Yeah, that's fine.
I just want to make sure we're good. We usually go right around here.
Sometimes if you have somebody coming in every other week, or sometimes every once a month. Yeah. It's usually when we want to go long. It's like, oh no, I've got 4 people coming in 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're in the foyer. The green room with the mops.
That's the Willy Wonka room.
That's where that little door up there goes to.
Yeah.
And then also the sign recording in progress. That's for us.
Yes.
First off, I want to say, Brian, you were over there for quite a long time.
So first off, though, putting that on the door, unless you lock the door, means nothing in this place. All right,
it doesn't.
I'll tell you that right now. We were doing a lot. Were we doing a live show that night?
That's how we knew about it.
We were doing a live show, and so first when I put it out, I put it as a live event. Okay, well, smart me, who knows how to use Facebook super well. I put it as like, hey, it's an event here. Everybody should attend. Okay.
Yeah. He meant to say we're going to be on Facebook Live. He's like, no, we're going to be here live. Come see us.
So I change it to put the address in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Okay, and that's where the address is. And I said underground layer, whatever. I did that, and I took the address off. Well, it's one of his buddies, so he's been here. He knows here.
Has he been here?
Huh?
Had he been here?
Yeah, he was here for the grand opening.
So did he think that there was a seating area in this place to come watch a podcast?
So we're doing a show, and he walks in. I go, hey, we're doing a show, buddy. Like that. Well, he's here to see the freaking show because I put out this stupid thing first, and he read it early.
Damon's like, hey, buddy, we're doing a show. Get out. And the guy was like, yeah.
We throw him out.
I know.
And he goes, oh my God. He goes, hey, that was my buddy Jose. I'm like, well, no, I feel bad. He could have sat and watched,
Holy cow.
But that's why I said the sign was outside the door, and I'm like, hey, we're recording. And he's holding the door up and looking at us. I'm like, we're seriously recording, like that. And then he starts dying laughing, Mac, and he's like, that's my buddy Jose. And I'm like, well, no, I feel bad, But I literally threw him out from where he thought, hey, I'm all excited. I'm going to go watch podcasts and watch my buddy
go
work.
outside to talk to him for a
I
minute?
think you did. Yeah. He got up and caught him, so he wasn't crying in his car. He went and got
I'm sure that's what it was about. I mean, we thought maybe there was just a food delivery for the medicinal building 2 doors down.
Yeah. We're here with your Funyuns.
Well, Brian, you said only for a couple of months. Are you moving?
Yeah, I'm looking for a bigger spot. So maybe in September, October.
Still in town here, though. Still like
in town.
in Joliet.
When the lease is up. This is the county seat. So if you want to roll a show through here.
Oh, that would be, Joliet. And Joliet's kicking.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I want to move downtown.
Yeah, he's going to move by the Rialto. So you can just throw your show right across the street.
And I've done the Rialto. Yeah. I've actually done there was another place, Crabigale's.
That's out of business.
Is it out of business? They did comedy there for a while.
I remember that.
So that was, I was supposed to be on the ground floor of that. That was kind of my improv. Right after my improv, that was coming to light. Okay. And it took forever for them to get it open. Because I actually I went through improv with one of the owners at the end. He was kind of in there. And I was like, I think we're good, and I'm not going to say nothing else, but we're good,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're good.
No, it's that place that was a whole nother. Yeah. He the last time I got paid, he had so much cash, and I just knew. I go, this is closing. It's going to be done.
Yeah.
So, but the Rialto's a beautiful theater.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
It is. It's a
awesome
beautiful theater.
I saw Weird Al there, Brian.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was great because they have all like the older people volunteer to be the ushers and whatnot.
And then Weird Al's on stage.
Well, yeah, Weird Al's on stage and all these people are holding up lighters and stuff because one of those videos, so he has lighters and all these running down. No, you've got to put that out. This is a historical building. And they put it out and another group over there would like them. Oh no! And they'd run over.
Those poor volunteers.
It was so funny.
Well, there's a place in downtown. It's like a rock bar or something.
There's Ron Romero is working on opening up the Rock and Roll Museum. And then there's also the Forge, which has a lot of
Forge, yeah.
They have a lot of rock.
Does the Forge have a
metal,
balcony?
Rap. Yes.
In it?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, that Toomey did his Christmas show there a couple of years ago. And he said, you got to come out and see his, because we do another show, TV and Me.
Yeah, that's a great
together.
job.
Yeah.
You brought me up as a player for one of the games.
I want to go.
Oh, that's right.
I want to go to one of those. I really do.
Yeah. Well,
I really do.
Obviously been put on hold, but you would.
Yeah.
And I will get you up on stage to play for the prizes because he'd be great.
No, yeah, it's fun, man.
He would be great.
It's an amazing show.
It'd be fun.
Yeah, and watching Mike, that's we wrote that together.
He
but
puts
still,
on it's like a clinic. It's so fun.
He's so good.
Yeah,
he's so
but
good.
it's like vintage TV show around that, right?
It's
is that
all
what it is?
about the '60s, basically '60s and the Brady Bunch and things that we grew up with. Basically,
yeah.
We make fun of it.
Right in my wheelhouse. Yeah, no, I would dig that.
No, it's all good
because when we do it on here. It's like a dated reference if we talk about stuff, especially, I mean, Mac's 10, 12 years younger than us. So when we say something, he doesn't get it,
Well, and that's kind of why we started the show because there was some material that Mike was like, I can't do this anymore. The audience we started at 98.
Yeah.
So he goes, the audience just doesn't get these references. So we go, let's just do a show with all those references.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's evolved over the years to 360 slides or whatever it is, and video and all that other stuff. But it's you're absolutely right. At some point, those moments where you feel old.
Yeah.
I said to one of the waitresses. It was at the Funny Bone in Columbus, and she's known me for a while. And I said, "Oh my God!" She said something. The same one said, and I go, "That's like the Twilight Zone." She had no idea what I was talking about, and I'm like, I don't blame her, but I'm like, wow,
yeah.
But
that stuff's going to die eventually.
Well, the
same with like Elvis and everything else. It's going to go away.
The thing is, Twilight Zone that was a chance. You could have taken that. That could have gone either way. I was with someone in Kenosha, and they made a Hazel reference on stage. And Brian and I were in the back, and both at the same time, probably too loud. We're like, Hazel? Like, no one's going to get that. Why are you still bringing that on stage?
I think I know who this is.
Yeah, I think you do.
Oh, that's hysterical. Yes.
I was like, what?
Yes. Well, and I've had, and I will make fun of him because I will tell him that I said this. He had a bit, and he would talk about Jolt Cola. And I'm like, can't you update that? He goes, they don't make that? I go, you Monster, anything, anything, Red Bull.
Yeah.
Just take it.
Just change the name. Change the name.
Right.
The joke's funny. Change the name.
Joke's fine.
Yeah.
Just make it a little more contemporary. Jolt Cola. Oh my God.
Like, is that a new thing?
Right. They're Googling it because everybody will Google it right there in this theater. Everybody will Google
Jolt Cola.
Jolt Cola. That's old. Oh, that's
yes,
old.
That's old.
And they missed the punchline because they're busy reading the phone.
Yeah. So there's that and Chef Boyardee. Those are the two horrible references that you can make at any given time that just show you how old you are.
That sounds familiar. Almost parking lot.
Yeah, like parking lot talk. Weird. So thanks for dating me, John. I appreciate that.
Oh, wait,
this has been our guest, John Da Cosse, and
he really threw you off.
Hey, I just dated myself. I went back to the Twilight Zone in the 50s. Give me a break.
So you're talking about though references. So that does bring up a story from this week. I had a buddy of mine that wanted to go in my garage and get something. I wasn't home, so I gave him I text him the code, and I text him 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm thinking Spaceball, still a reference, that people get. That sounds like something an idiot would put on his luggage. Yeah. Now I will give him that. If he comes back with that, I will type in the right code. Okay. But I'm not going to do it if he says anything else. And his response was, "Are you a friggin' idiot?" That was his response.
Well, it didn't necessarily
he didn't say friggin'.
code.
He didn't say friggin', but he said, "Are you a friggin' idiot?" Right. So, and like I said, I'd have given you Spaceballs if you'd have been like, "Sounds like something an idiot puts on his luggage." I would have taken that. That's what I was going for. I was giving you a reference.
Right.
I put it on a tee. You didn't swing at it. You threw me a football. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So I give it a minute, was saying nothing. And then he says, "Hey, this code doesn't work." Okay. So he tried the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then I said, who's the freaking idiot now?
Exactly.
Okay. And then I give him 9876. That's just the end of the numbers backwards. And he goes, that doesn't work either. And I told him, I go, yeah, idiot's still you. No change. That's what I told him.
Wow.
Because I'm like, I would give you, if you want to, I'm throwing you a lob, swing at it. But it was so crazy because it's like, I expected it. I'm like, you expect so much out of people, and you're like, you're going to get this reference.
And this is somebody you know.
It's a buddy of mine, so they're the same age.
Yeah,
contemporary,
they should know that you're kidding.
Well, and I think he did, but he's like, are you a friggin' idiot? You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to fall for this. Well, when I maintain radio silence, he has to fall for it. He's got no other numbers.
Yeah.
So he puts it in and nothing works. The pad flashes, and it's the door's not going up. And I'm just like, okay, that doesn't work. Oh, who's the idiot now?
I can't tell you, though, in the field I'm in, how many actual passwords and logins are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, I'm sure.
It is ridiculous.
Or the password is password.
Yeah,
it's like,
or they had to change one recently. They had to change it, and this is going to go to your thing. They had to change it to 54321. I'm like, are you? So people sometimes will comment, hey, what's the password for this? And I'll just say, oh, it's a-hole luggage. And they'll know, and they'll put it in. So now I'm worried that people won't get that reference anymore. I'm like, what is that? And they'll just be typing into the work in the keylogger, a-hole luggage.
Is there a hyphen in there? Am I supposed to put a dash?
Are you cleaning that up like verbally? Do I have to put in the 2 S's? I do whatever you want. I don't care. You're an idiot.
Yeah. I just got fired for typing a-hole into the company computer.
And the plan has been successful.
Ooh, somebody's getting a promotion. I qualified for your job.
Oh my God.
Do you have time to do, we do a segment, Strange Stories. So we pick a strange story and then we riff on it, and you'd be perfect for this.
No,
this would be fun.
Yeah, that's
so fun. I have 2 strange stories, and they, coming off of my story right there where my buddy's a friggin' idiot, these are about stupid people. Okay? By the first headline, you'll know that it's ridiculous. The headline is, how many times can you fall into a storm drain? Well, I'll tell you, the answer is more than one. Okay?
Well, if you have to write that headline, it is more than one.
Yeah. So,
I mean, how many can you? How many do you want to? Because I can do it as many times as is there money involved? I'll do it.
So like I said, I read the titles and I just make sure it's not like ignorant, and then otherwise this is a cold read for me and we just go off of it. Okay. So, but in reality, what it is it says a woman that was found and rescued from a storm drain in South Florida has now been rescued from a storm drain in Texas.
What?
And it ain't like she Mario brothered her way, to that train and come up,
How much rain were they getting in Florida that she ended up in Texas?
Luckily, she had a canoe in that drain.
Apparently.
Damon, people collect thimbles and spoons and shot glasses. Maybe she's just collecting storm drains in every state. Oh, I got to hit the north corner in the fall when the leaves change.
No, Southern Florida has the best storm drains.
Yeah. There might be gators down there.
Wow. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
okay.
So it says,
I mean, does she do anything like weird that would put her near storm drains in her drains? They're drains.
But it says it kind of makes you wonder if it's happened before to her. I mean, okay. And it says a woman who spent 3 weeks in a sewer system in Delray Beach disappeared into a storm drain in Texas.
Maybe she was homesick.
Oh my God.
I thought, see, if it was the same town, I thought maybe she just wanted to meet a certain firefighter and couldn't figure out how to set up a date.
That's a good call.
I'm just going to go in the storm drain. It'll get me out again. Hi, remember me? I'm the lady from the storm drain.
I'm lost again. Oh my God.
You smell like,
help me.
I of course remember you. It took me 24 hours to wash you out of my clothes.
I was going to say it's the damsel in distress and she smells like sewer when you get her out,
my God. Yeah, we need more info on that one.
So it says Lindsay Kennedy. Now we have a name.
Okay. She's a Kennedy. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's a Kennedy.
43, early 40s.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. It was posted on the Grand Prairie Facebook page. The post said they were looking for her. 4 days later, the woman was found by her mom and best friend at a nearby canal. Kennedy told the police in March that she went for a swim near the canal, near her boyfriend's house, and she was curious, in quotations, and thought she wandered through the tunnels before she get lost.
All right, okay. So let me play this out. She got lucky because there was history. Because the day one, the mom and the sister were like, we need to check the storm drains. The local authorities were like, why would we do that?
Yeah, why would we do that?
By day 4, they're like, we've checked everywhere else. And check the storm drains.
That's the reason she was there for 3 days. Day 1 and 2, no storm drains. Yeah. Day 3.
That's called goodbye. Curious, I think is what
that's called thinning of the herd.
No question.
That's what it's called.
That's what you would expect to see on Law and Order. We're out of ideas. Dun, 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 dun.
This looks like
everybody. She's in a storm drain.
And the title
Sewer
is
Patrol.
Looks like a rerun, but it's not. That's a title. It's same chick, just different drain.
So we're playing this game again.
That would be so great to see her though. When she's like, "How you doing?" Most people go like, same shit, different day. And you'd be like, "Same day, different drain." You know what I mean? That's what you tell her.
Different shit. Different shit. Same day, different shit. God,
I found the crap in Texas to be way more nutty.
Had more of a Tex-Mex.
Were you swimming with your mouth open?
Yes. What? Why?
Had more of a spicy feel to it.
I lived off dead pigeons for a while.
Oh my God.
So it says that, but the Kennedy family said that a little over a week after checking into a rehab facility in Texas, she wandered off and reported missing again. So Brady Morgan, we have another name, who's best friends with Kennedy, said the Ground Prairie Police spotted Kennedy near a creek. But when they got closer to her, she slipped into a nearby storm drain. What do you not learn?
Get found in a drain.
Yeah.
They were just like, hey, why is there a backup in downtown? Yeah. Is that dumb bitch back in the drain?
they rod and they come up with like a pair of overalls. They're like, oh crap, what do we do? They're rod the sewer.
Oh my God. Wow.
Now they just have like a signal like at the plant where it's just like a code Kennedy.
Yeah.
Code Kennedy.
Put more PSI down there. We'll push that bitch out to the ocean.
Oh my God.
I just love how you're curious. And then when you're swimming in a canal and you're near a storm drain, you're like, hey, what are you doing? And boom, right in the drain.
Oh no, they're on to me. To the shit cave.
This is the worst game of Marco Polo I've ever played in my life.
Oh my God.
She thinks she's like some sort of Batman villain.
Yeah, right.
I'll escape through the sewers.
I got a riddle for you. What smells like poo? It's me.
It's me. They're not very good riddles. Actually, they're shit.
She's got the Joker makeup on, but it's all poo. And she just comes up and she's like, what are you doing?
This is crazy.
Oh, man.
So anyway, they were able to ping her last location on her phone. So she's swimming with her phone. Super intelligent already, This wasn't her first time. Okay.
Wait, she's back in the store buying Ziploc bags. Yeah. We know what's coming.
But they said, now they say an elderly man fell in a storm drain earlier in 2021 in January. That's probably where COVID started.
But here's the thing. Why are they making storm drains this big?
Yeah.
Good question.
His neighbor found him after he'd fallen 10 feet into a storm drain. Charles Marshall, we have another name.
Wow.
You should not want to be named in any of these stories.
No.
Went to take his dog for a walk when he realized a man's car was parked funny in the driveway. And there was no grate on the nearby storm drain. So you stepped off a curb where there's a storm drain because there's a car in front of your driveway. Could you not walk through your yard a little more?
Well, this makes it more plausible. They all float down here, Georgie.
So they called down to the man who'd fallen. He was okay, but he hit his head. 911 was called. Got him out within an hour. Okay, so that's good. He was taken to the hospital with severe injuries. I'm guessing they're all to the head and the morale.
Yeah.
Well, and the morale.
It's a good thing he didn't do it in the same town as that woman, though.
Yeah. They found him by accident looking for Kennedy.
No, it would have been like, hey,
there's another guy. Hey, there's a group of peoples.
There's a whole event down here.
I didn't know. Look at Eventbrite. Maybe there's tickets.
We're going to need another bus.
check StubHub. We'll get him.
See, that's one way it could have gone. It could have gone the other way where they're like, hey, we got another person down. We got a person down in the drain. Oh, it's just that dumb bitch again. Let her go.
It's just Kennedy.
Just let her go.
It's just Kennedy.
It's not Kennedy, though. The dog's just up on the leash above. Just
He's still holding on the leash. There's shit all around the drain because the dog had to go,
Oh, my God.
It took an extra hour because we had to shovel around the drain so we could get to the guy. So good. That's awesome.
All right. What's your other story?
Anyway, his neighbor found him.
As he was bagging out the car.
So this one, the title grabbed me. So I'm sure this can't be dirty. A Pennsylvania woman attempts to hire a hitman on a payment plan.
Holy God.
So she's putting it on layaway.
We're going to put this on layaway.
That's just as good as buying it. We'll come back every week and make a payment. Yeah.
Does he kill the guy like an arm at a time or... Does he make the full killing?
The full shot.
So I'm like, first one's a warning shot. I gave him a warning.
Just a couple of pellets in the shotgun.
So it says the tag at the top then says, all right, I'll hire you to kill this person. Do you take Amex? And I like that. That's pretty good.
Wow.
You know? But it says,
you got to pay that one off at the end of the month. I would have gone with like a credit card that lets you spread it out over an entire year.
We assume hiring a professional killer is pretty expensive, but apparently some of them are willing to give you a payment plan. Claudia Carrion, we have a name, from Allentown, Pennsylvania, has been arrested because she was charged with attempting to hire an undercover detective. So she's already hiring a cop to take out her husband.
So maybe that's the tip off. If it's the one that are like, oh yeah, you can pay me on credit.
Yeah.
Maybe you weren't the one I want to hire. What was the signal?
Why don't I'll trade you for those golf clubs up there in the garage.
That's about it.
Well, they're my husband's. He's not going to need them once you kill him. You know what? You take those. Would you like a riding lawnmower?
Yeah, she should be arrested just because she thought so little of that. Like, it's not a major thing I'm doing. I can pay this off on time.
Yeah.
Well, and someone's going to keep their mouth shut for that long.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
Did the guy ask her, hey, I don't really know you. Want to be safe? Can we meet in the police parking lot just to make sure?
You know what? They'll never look for us at the cop shop. Come on down. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's good.
According to the criminal complaint filed against Carrion, who is 44, by the way.
Mid-40s.
Mid-40s. Yeah. Wow. She had been looking for a hitman. The cops got a whiff of her intentions, and they sent out a guy, basically an underground operation, on June 10th. So the secret agent contacted her and told her he'd be willing to do the hit. During their discussion, so she didn't bring this up ahead of time. Okay, I need somebody to kill somebody.
He's in the car. He leans over into his wrist mic. You're like, you guys are not going to believe this. You guys are not going to believe this.
Remember the one we found in the drain? I think I'm working with it right now.
No. Yes.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah.
Seriously, guys.
She's like, I can hear you. That's just my buddies. I'm texting my buddies. It's all good. So it says during their discussion, she told him why she wanted her husband dead. Alleging domestic abuse. Now that's never funny. So if that's the case, that's true. But then you just go to somebody. You don't try to murder the guy. Or if you need to.
Well, she went to the police. She just went the wrong way.
Right. Yeah. I went to the cops.
Yeah.
Good point.
So anyway, she offered to the pretend assassin $4,000 for the job, and he soon admitted she couldn't pay the sum up front. After some negotiations, they came up with a credit system. Carrion would pay $100 right here, and then the remaining $3,900 would be paid over 39 installments.
Oh my God.
So for 40 months, you got to know you're going to kill this guy. Shh. You know,
she gets the bill. She goes, "Is that my mattress or is that Mark that I killed? Which one is it? Is that my mattress or Mark? I don't know.
Wait, is it? Oh, it's Murder Firm. Okay, it's not Mattress Firm. We're good. We're good.
That's it. Wow.
So as soon as she handed him $100, she received handcuffs. All right. So now they're saying, was she framed? You're not framed. How are you framed?
How are you framed?
Yeah. So, but yeah, it didn't work out. But let's see. There's a whole bunch here. Potential for punishment. According to Pennsylvania law,
she's going to try to negotiate. I'll spend 10 years in jail, but just 1 month at a time.
I can't do it all at one time.
Right.
Yeah. Every week I'll come in for a day.
Does this work for you guys?
That's a thing.
Well, I know it is a thing for some people. You're correct. Yeah, it is a thing.
Brian, you knew that really too quick.
But it looks like she got 20 years.
And you're behind me and I can't see you.
Yeah, she can look up to 20 years in prison.
Brian, can I see your ankles real quick?
Yeah, right.
Listen, we can't record.
I noticed his desk goes all the way to the ground.
That's why he's late. He's like, the guys might run late today. If I go early, I'm going to be outside my time. This is going to go off.
Right. You guys don't get it.
Yeah.
You don't get it.
When you run long, you're really playing with people's lives here. You know what I mean?
Brian just got his leg hanging out the window of the building.
I don't know.
That doesn't look comfortable. That's what I got to do.
Just get me home. Get me home.
He puts it on the dog and lets it run around the house. He goes out.
Cats. I got cats.
Yeah, cats. Okay. Well, you have cats.
You don't have chickens.
You don't have chickens.
Correct.
He
Brian
used to have
had
chickens. Yeah, used to.
A cat ate them.
Yet he harbors cats in his house.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's you think Ted's
I think
cereal.
you should move today. Just saying.
Leave the cats.
It's like the guy took the cover off the sewer grate and it was like, hey, there was no cover. I fell in. It wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
You took it off, man. We know it was you.
I'm going to be on TV.
Oh my God.
Baby Jessica got out of there. She got a lot of coverage. Look at this.
Be on a television, bring the dog down, have someone to talk to while I wait.
I love it though. Everybody's just walking past and the dog's like, it's a pointer. It's like, down here. Yeah. There's the problem. Right here.
Yeah, no, everyone's walking by like, oh, what's wrong, Lassie? Timmy fall in the well? Just like keep going.
Yeah, right.
Yes, that's what happened.
No, it's Jimmy in a storm drain. Damn it. So close. So close.
Almost saved him. Almost.
So now they just put mattresses at the bottom of every storm drain.
Yeah. God. That's crazy.
No, I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate having a lot of fun. We ran longer than we normally do, and this was fun.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad.
That's kind of our thing. We bring you into our show and be like, hey, we're just going to do our show. Have fun with it.
Oh, no. That's this was fun. This was easy. You guys are good. Now I'll actually have to listen.
Instead of just telling Ted, I heard it.
I heard it, Ted.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing.
You were talking about stuff.
Yeah. All you did is like, hey, Ted, I know you name businesses. I know your wife doesn't listen.
I know. Yeah. Here's what I know.
I know you call Brian Mack.
Yeah.
Because you don't know his last name.
They call you a sidekick, and that you're better than that, Ted. You're way better.
You're a +1 in my book.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. We were trying to like downplay ourselves when Chad was on.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I listen to you guys. I've listened to some episodes you guys. And we're like, oh, well, now we look like idiots. Because we were like, we didn't think you listen.
And so what's funny is I turned into like Bobby Brady in the pie eating contest. You know, where like the red light came on and I'm like, it's Chad. So and
I was like, please don't do that. He's like, I won't do it. Like, please don't do that.
So what's funny is, and we'll relive it one more time because John's here. But it was funny because I knew he had watched, because he talked about it on his podcast and his other stuff. He watches like DIY and home fix-it shows and tries to learn stuff. And then when he has somebody come to his house, he's like their instant helper because now he's paying them. But I told him, I said, so you're paying it's like a tutorship. You're learning. He goes, correct. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah. So he gets done and I go, hey, do you ever watch any other shows on DIY? He goes, no, I don't. I said, okay. So, and then I said, hey, do you ever watch this show? No, I don't. Hey, ever watch this show? No, I don't. And I'm like, okay. And my improv's kicking in. I'm like, you're supposed to be like, yes, and, or no, but I watched this one and I was laughing. And all of a sudden, like it kicked into me. I'm like, I'm rubbing this guy the wrong way. And he's a big star and I love him. You know what I mean? I love his comedy.
Like, hey, Damon, I don't know if you get it. He doesn't watch any of these shows. Yeah. Let's move on.
Yeah. So like on the next episode, I'm like, why don't you just tell me what you watch? You know what I mean? I'm like, come on.
Yeah. And he also was like, hey, Chad, I just want to make sure, because he's in Minnesota, right? He's like, hey, Chad, I just want to know, just so we're not messing you up or anything, what time are you in there? What time is it where you are? And he was just literally deadpan.
It's my favorite joke. I talk to anybody that way.
He's like, it's the same time where you are.
I was going to ask you, what time is it there, John? I was going to ask you when you came in today.
We're 45 minutes ahead.
Yeah. I mean, that makes
sense. Live in the now, man. Live in the now.
I know.
This is adjacent to downtown Joliet, so that makes sense.
He's like, I already know this isn't funny because I'm 45 minutes in the future.
Been there. Ain't working.
I did not need a DeLorean to know this is not a hit.
And end up in a storm drain in 32 minutes.
Better be one hell of an opening.
I'm glad I brought it away. Glad I brought extra clothes.
Hey, I'll stand up top and crap until people get there.
Wow.
But when they come, why is he pointing? Well, first off, he's heckling his buddy, but you should probably go help him, you know?
Bring a mask. Yeah, bring a mask. Well, we don't have to do that anymore. Oh, you will for this. Yeah. Where can they find us, Damon?
No, I don't know. You do that.
You can find us at That Checks Out. You can find us all the socials at That Checks Out. WTT stands for With Damon and Ted. Thank you for joining us, John. For Damon and Brian, I am Ted. That checks out.
That does check out. That was awesome.
Good. You guys are good.
That Checks Out was recorded at Audiohive Podcasting in Joliet, Illinois. Audiohive Podcasting is a studio dedicated to podcast recording, editing, and production. You can find out more information at audiohivepodcasting.com.
You are legitimately the therapy.
Now, are we allowed to pet you or no?
Yeah, how does that go?
Yeah. And where can we touch the dog?
I do have treats, and I don't know what the rules are.
Yeah. Red Rocket.
You bring the dog. It's going to get weird. Do you guys need me? I can go. Welcome to That Checks Out with Damon and John.
This is awkward.
Yeah. So you were being replaced. Thanks for coming in, John.
Did you know about this?
I thought you would have talked to him beforehand.
We don't like each other to sit here for a month's worth.
I totally get that. I mean, I've never driven with Ted, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen.
Yeah. If I thought the luggage rack would hold him, I would get an extra bungee. You know?
Have you done stand-up?
No, I've done improv. I like improv. I went through Players Workshop with Stephen Roth. I don't know if you know him or not.
Yeah.
Because he was he was in with George Wendt and Shelley Long and all them. He went through it when it was still part of Second City. And then they had a falling out with Second City because of Josephine Forsberg that was her teachings for the Players Workshop. So they pulled it over to a different place, and I went through that. I did not go through in the Second City building, but I went through the same training that like Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray, all those guys got from. I got the same training because it was the same channel. You know, So I really you know, one of the big things that's weird, it stuck with me my whole life, is Stephen Roth was really opposed to you. He goes, when you sit like this, you're telling me, go ahead, teach me something, talk to me.
Oh, okay.
I don't cross my arms to this day, and that was years ago.
Wow.
Even when I coach football, I got one because it's comfortable. I'm a fat guy, resting right on my gut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he and I get in so many arguments about this because it's just naturally comfortable to put my hands here.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I can't do that. I'm like, but my hands feel better here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Steve used to go with his finger to the point where you're like, okay, really like he was training a dog, but he trained us right out of it. And the other thing that he showed me, I sway. You might have saw when we were in the parking lot, we're talking. I'm a swayer. Okay. And it drives him crazy.
Don't.
Drives him crazy. But the fact of the matter is when I get on stage, my brain turns that off. Like I'm trained, I can go up and not, you know, even when I'm nervous, I don't sway. So it's kind of weird. But it's just something where he was such a good teacher of that. It was phenomenal.
Wow, that's good.
I went through 3 years of it, and that was all there was. And you graduated, and you were done. I went through a stand-up course. I paid. Okay.
Are you gonna name names?
Yeah, it was taught by Dolby Maxwell.
Oh,
okay.
Hold on, because I was like, you don't have to name names. You just have to say gas station.
Okay, but anyway,
just say quickie.
Yeah. So anyway, it was taught by him, and it was called Be Funny, Make Money, and it wasn't anything. He actually told me. He goes, I've never seen your set. And I was kind of thinking to myself, I'm like, well, I don't find your stuff funny. So I wouldn't want to show you my set and you'd be like, oh, I don't like that. You're not going to like my set because mine's different topics and funny. Here's where I have a problem with stand-up for me, for my brain. I like to laugh along with it. Once I rehearse it to the point he rehearses it, you rehearse your stuff, I'm numb to it and I don't like it anymore.
Okay.
So it could be really funny to me and it could be really funny to other people. But if I can't laugh with them when I say it, you know what I mean? It's hard. So I literally went to the show. We had a grad show at Zany's in Chicago. We're on stage. Okay. Yeah. So that was kind of cool just to be able to do that.
Right.
I only paid $50 for the course. I mean, it was like it was an 8-week course. So I can tell you how much quality comedy you got out of that.
Yeah. Somebody wasn't making money.
Yeah. So anyway, I went up there, was going for the show, and I had everything set. Like I even had my recorder with the show on it. I'm listening to it on the way up. You know, the little tape thing, I still had that. This was back in the day, and I'm going up there and I get rid of it. I'm like, I'm done. I went up and I did a whole improv. I think it's 7 minutes. Did a whole improv. And he didn't know it wasn't my set because he never saw my set 'cause I never did it.
Right.
And he goes, so you're ready? I'm like, I'm ready. I went up and did improv. They had two standing ovations that night. One was me. And I had nothing planned when I went on stage.
Wow.
So that's why I want to do that. Checks out as a brand, because if we do crowd work together, it's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? It gets nutty. And especially if we're in a place where we know people, it gets even nuttier. So I want to do that because for me to rehearse it, and that's just me personally, I become numb to it. I applaud people that, that can go out and tell the same joke over and over and over. And I realize you're honing it and you're making it right. But at some point you got to be like numb to it, right?
I think it happens. It's just, but there's also a pretty decent paycheck at the end for me. So, my carrot is a little bigger than yours. So no offense.
Right. No, I understand. But I fed off the crowd laughing. I fed off of them when they were laughing during.
Right.
So I kind of thought, I'm like, maybe this is the adrenaline then. Maybe this is what it is. It's like, I'm numb to what I'm saying, but the response I'm getting is it's feeding you energy.
I think the difference is that you can hear it in your voice when you're done with it.
Yeah.
Like you have trouble selling it because you don't believe in it, where people that do it and practice it and everything, they know the timing, they do it right. They know that they've heard it 1,000 million times, but they know that it has to sound this way, otherwise it won't get the laugh.
Yeah.
But in defense, I've seen a lot of comics and I've seen people do the same sets, but change it up. But I've also seen ones do the same set from A to Z and it's been no change, no variation, no nothing. It's like,
Is there a solid 5 or 7? And
no, I've
good?
been talking a solid 45, and it's just
really?
it's the exact from start to finish. Whereas some people can be like, I've got a solid 90 minutes. I'll throw it in somewhere, anywhere, and it'll be 45 minutes of that 90 minutes. And sometimes you won't see the same show 4 nights in a row, but you'll see the same material 4 nights in a row.
Well, and that's what I told Nicole. If you do this tonight and we end up going down there and checking it out, I said, you're either going to hear a lot of the same stuff you heard last night. I said, or he's going to pick and pluck from the stuff he's done that he really loves.
It's a guess set, so it would be it'd be 5 minutes max.
7 minutes.
I would take my best 5 from what I did last night.
Right. And so I told her, I said, that's
but Ted, we're going to disagree on that. I don't think you should do your best 5. I think you should do whatever 5 minutes flows together.
Well, I think
whatever section that is.
Yeah.
Well, we're having a clinic right now. Do I owe you $50 now? Or?
Hey, Ted, hit the button.
I know. Yeah.
This is Be Funny, Make Money.
I feel bad.
What? I hope you've been recording this whole time.
Yeah. But you got to hit the button to make it.